allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kelly's not here, I'm sorry. So we'll open it up to public comments. Anything that's not on the agenda, that anybody has any comments, we'll limit you to 3 minutes.
I have more of a question.
Sure.
Yeah, so, sorry, this is my first time here. Let me know if I need to be like standing up or anything.
No,
like that.
you're good.
My main thing for reason for coming is I live over there by United, and there's a park over there that I've been trying to find out who owns it to try and see how we can get it improved a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and if it's possible, and what we need to do in order to get some improvements for that park. Sorry, who are we pointing at?
So just so you know, that park doesn't belong to the county, it belongs to the school district.
It belongs to the school district.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the only county park that we have is in West Park
Yeah.
and the one at the Glendower.
Yeah.
So that park is not part of the county, it belongs to the school district. And they're gracious enough to let us, hang out there and do stuff that we do there. But I know that they are doing some
They already planning on
doing some stuff on it. But if you wanna talk to us after, we can tell you what we have planned for the
Sure.
area soon.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was my whole, I
Yeah.
kept trying to find out who owned it, and they said,
Yeah.
we used to own it, but now we don't.
Yeah, it belongs to the school district.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, afterwards, I'll,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right. Anybody else? All right.
Oh, he has-
Start with our community-
Oh, there's no-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Should I now?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Saturday over on Diamond Street, I am having a tournament for Roblox, Fortnite, Street Fighter, Mario Kart at the salon over there for kids ages 5 to 17. Is from 2 to 7. It is free for the kids. I've been going around and getting different sponsors and donations, so the kids wouldn't have to pay to do an entry fee or anything. If you are interested in sponsoring any kids or donating, please welcome that as well. We just wanted to create something for the kids to do, something different for them to do, to keep them out of trouble, keep them out of the streets, just different things like that. There's another 2 things I'd like to work on for the Rosemont community before the end of the summer. I would like to get a water day for them as well, kind of like a kickball game for them to play or whatever, just something like that. Just different things for the kids to do that's out the norm.
Can I have one of those?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you introduce yourself?
Oh yes, I'm sorry. My name is My name is Marshall Coleman. I have a nonprofit. It's called Boys of Optimistic Manhood. It is for boys growing up in a home without a father figure. I do see and mentor some young ladies as well. It is based in the Lancaster-Palmdale area, but I have been servicing the Rosemont area as well, and I plan on expanding and focusing most of my attention in the Rosemont area as well. Thank you. Would you like to apply?
Yeah.
After?
Marshall, let me get another one for you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Pass it down.
Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, well, we're going into the community leader reports, and welcome the Kern County Sheriffs.
Hi, I'm Senior Deputy Georgia. I'm currently assigned to the Roseland substation. I've been here a couple times. I got mostly April stats because that was sent to me about a half an hour ago. So for the Roseland area, we had a total of 440 polls. It looks like the majority of them were mostly audible alarms. We do have some that kind of shows the proactiveness of our deputies, just going out and trying to find stuff to do and locating people. And then we have about 38 check the welfares and some other patrol checks that were in the area. And then we compared that to April stat for the Mojave area, and they're currently at 491. And again, most of those are pretty similar to what we see in Roseland. Also, a lot of vehicle thefts.
Two things. What's the status on? I was talking with Lieutenant Lackey and the Sarge.
Yes.
What's the status on getting relocated here to Roseman? Have you guys secured a spot yet? Or?
So from what I understand is, I understand that they're building a new substation
Right.
for us out by the fire station, and for the time being, they have secured I believe it was the old Century 21,
Okay.
just north of the Hall Ambulance Station.
Okay.
I don't know what the current status is for that. I've been told that it's about 2 months away. I've also been told that we're looking to separate substations again also.
Yes, I would agree.
I think we're looking for a certain amount of deputies. I heard from 5 to 8 for them to pass FTO and go out to actual field patrol, and then they're going to start looking at separating substations to where the units are designated to their areas again, which will be fantastic.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome. That's awesome. And then anything, I know this is not your purview, but all the fires we've been getting, is there any cause? I mean, I grew up out here for the last 50 years, and I've never seen 25 fires in like 3 weeks. Do we have an arsonist out here that's setting these, or?
I want to say no. I don't believe so. We haven't heard anything. I don't know if the Highway Patrol has heard of anything. I do believe the one that was off of 80th was set by negligence. It sounded like possibly like the chains from
You're right, that's
a
what I
trailer
heard, yeah.
that were being dragged. I believe some of the other ones, mostly like Rattlesnake Canyon and other of the other local shooting areas. I think maybe just negligent people shooting at rocks and just causing sparks.
Yeah, because like at Dawn and Tropico, there was 3 separate fires yesterday, and then over the last couple of weeks, there's been I think 2 or 3 fires in that same area. So it's just seemed kind of suspicious. That
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what caused that fire, but I mean, with the wind that we've been having, with just the easiest of fires, it can carry an ember and cause 3 separate fires too. But I can't speak of what actually caused them.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
For those who don't know, my name is Aaron Maurer. I'm the Public Information Officer, CHP office in Mojave, so just a little bit north. So our stats are kind of similar. We're still doing what we're doing. We're still working hard. We're focusing on DUIs because that continues to be a problem in all of our communities, and especially down here in Roseman. Just more people drinking or taking drugs, and they get behind the wheel of a car, and they end up crashing, killing, and hurting people. In fact, today we just did an award ceremony down in Bakersfield for Kern County Law Enforcement, the MAD Awards, Mothers Against Drug Driving, where to be honored, you have to have 25 arrests of a DUI driver in 1 year's period, which may not seem like much, but when you factor in the time it takes to go through the investigation, make the arrest, the booking, all the paperwork that's associated with it, that's a lot. So it was kind of cool to see other law enforcement agencies from around the county participating in that. And we're continuing to focus on that education through our community partners, businesses, schools, stuff like that, and trying to look forward towards the future and just some education on DUIs and trying to bring those numbers down. Just to give you some stats, in 2022 nationwide, there were approximately 13,500 people killed as a direct result of an impaired driver. The year before it was 11,000. So 2,000 people in 1 year, nationwide. That's not California or Mojave, it's nationwide, but that's still a very big number. So it remains high on our radar amongst everything else traffic related. But we're always looking for impaired drivers, and I encourage everybody, if you see something, call 911. Don't wait. Do it immediately, even if you're driving, to pick up the phone and call 911 to report that person, because you don't know. They could be on their phone or they could be impaired, but we want to try to remove those drivers from the road and make sure everybody gets home safely. As far as like you mentioned, fire safety, I'll touch on that. We're responding just like these guys are. Fires all over the place. And LA counties have their fair share as well. So it's not just Kern County, and we haven't heard of an arsonist or anything else. What we've heard is a lot of like chains dragging or people target shooting, a lot of negligence. So if you follow us on like Facebook or social media, we've been doing some posts here and there about, hey, don't let chains drag if you're gonna tow something or if you're gonna haul something. Make sure everything's equipped and don't park your car on the grass. I mean, those are 2 real simple facts that can save a brush fire from starting and save somebody's homes from that have burned. So we may be getting another cadet from our academy in the near future, in the next 6 to 9 months. So that's exciting. We have a couple transfers still headed our way, but also having another cadet, that's awesome because it's one more person in the area to help the community. So we are looking forward to that.
Now, are you guys, how's your staffing levels there? Are you guys fully staffed yet, or?
Not quite. We're still a little bit short. We're certainly better off than we were, say, even 2 years ago. We have more officers at our office, so things are looking up. I think same with the sheriff's department. Things are on the right track at the moment, so we want to keep that trend. As a department, our applications are up considerably compared to last year. So the number of people putting in applications, so that's a good sign. And we hope that trend continues so that we can improve public safety and improve traffic safety. So.
And that, the way not, I'm not going to include Assemblyman Lackey in this statement, but our legislation in Sacramento, the way things are going, there's a lawlessness out there where people aren't being held accountable. And like I said, the more max enforcement days we can get here in Roseman, I mean, it's dangerous going down Sierra Highway, and with the freeway construction, you risk your life getting on the highways over there because people are just driving like idiots.
Sure. Yeah, Roseman is where we held our DUI checkpoint just Memorial Day weekend. Did that Friday before. So we'll continue it. We will do saturation patrols in our various communities, and it'll come back to Roseman. We cover everything from here all the way up to Trona and up to Pearsonville. So there's a lot of communities, but it'll end up back here in Roseman, and we know like Roseman Boulevard and Sierra Highway, Tehachapi, Willow Springs, and all those roads. We try to move around so that people don't get used to us being in one area. You know what I mean? So.
What's your main focus on saturation?
Our main focus, it's anything, any traffic violations. We'll focus on, especially moving violations, like speed, unsafe turning, running red lights, stop signs, reckless driving, stuff like that. But really when we do a saturation patrol, if it's a violation, it's a violation. Because we want people to know, hey, we are out here. You may not see us all the time, but we are out here and we are working in all of our communities. It's just a matter of calls for service, and how much time we have, but with more officers coming in, it's a good thing. So it's a very good thing.
It was basically my question.
Okay.
In regards to specifically speed demons.
Yes.
Driving down Rosemont Boulevard, there's like Mad Max, and in our neighborhood.
Yeah,
It's like we don't have speed bumps anywhere, and they're just barreling through.
Sure.
It's crazy, and
Yeah, we hear that same thing from, like you mentioned, the general lawlessness, right? We hear the same thing from our residents in Tehachapi, like Westwood and Tehachapi Boulevard and other places out in Ridgecrest, down Ridgecrest Boulevard or 178. We hear that in all of our communities. It's just a matter of getting to our resources to each of our communities and keep that trend of moving around and being efficient with the resources that we have so that we can still reach out to our communities. But there is an officer every day that's dedicated to the Rosemond area, just like Tehachapi, and just like Mojave Moron. We have at least that. Sometimes we have more that are dedicated to these communities. So.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I add to that? So we've had some reckless people living in our neighborhood that
There's a liability for them as well. So, absolutely. I mean, that's a good. Thank you for bringing that up. It's a good resource for your neighborhood. And
So we haven't had it done because the city would quiet down.
Okay.
But that's an option I can do if we still see an increase.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't be afraid to, when you see people driving like that, to call. If there's a specific time where it's happening, you can let us know or send an email. I think I provided the email before, but if you guys want to come see me afterwards, I'll give you an email address. So, because now we have a dedicated officer that's working those complaints within the community. So, it's exciting.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you for the time.
Carlo.
All right. Good evening, all. I'm Carlo Basal. I'm the field representative for Assemblyman Lackey. He's our assemblyman. Actually, his assembly district goes all the way to Trona. I'm glad you guys patrol out there. But what a wonderful spot, just kind of at the end of the road, though.
Located in the world, but you see it from there.
Yeah, there you go. It's also beautiful, just a little hot. I mean, I really like it. It's a little hot. But anyway, to get back to it, I just wanted to give a small legislative report. The assemblyman right now is all the representatives are engaged in budget fights, legislation, finishing off legislation. They have about, I think it's about 10 days more to finish before they have the summer break. Everything's got to be done. So they're going through pretty hectically. If you hear of any bill, some bills come up. I was thinking of SB 53 in particular, and I hear about it. Please call our office, register your support or non-support, whatever you like. Register your opinion. You have to give your name and your address to make sure that you're one of our constituents. But the assemblyman really needs that kind of information. Somebody feels really hot about some issue. Could be school, could be traffic, could be anything, please. I have some business cards, but the big thing to remember is our phone number, 661-267-7636. 661-267-7636. All right, and I'll give you a short legislative report. There's a bill that's very important to this area because of all the retirees, all the military retirees that have gone on to work at Rockwell or Lockheed or Plant 42 or whatever. Anyway, the bill is SB 46. It excludes property tax. It excludes income tax from the pensions for those people that have, like, they're still working and they're getting a military retired pension, maybe a partial retirement, partial disability. It would exclude that part. It's a big help. They would, the big push was there are a lot of people who are working in the aerospace industry who are vets. They are getting some retirement benefits, but they don't want to apply for them because they're going to get taxed on them. They're going to get income tax. Well, you know, it might be $1,000, might be $3,000 a month, $36,000. If you're working full time and you're adding $36,000 on top of that, that could kick you into a different tax bracket. So anyway, California is trying to address that. So that's I think it's pretty good. It's been almost 2 years in the making. Hopefully it will pass, and there's no guarantee of anything. All right, and then the other one is, I got a couple other ones. SB 726, it expands property tax exemption to 100% disabled vets throughout the state. Right now in Los Angeles, if you're a disabled vet with 100% disability, you do not pay property taxes. I think you still pay the assessment, but you don't pay the property tax on your house if you own it. So it's kind of a narrow piece of the pie, but it's just a good benefit for our vets, that's all. Other things, one law that did pass earlier and was signed in is a law called Skilled Ridge. It AB 883, and it goes to show that there was the reason why I bring up a lot of the vet deals is, one, is because of this area. There's a lot of vets here, and two, because the Assemblyman, this is one of his focuses, public safety and vets. But anyway, in this Skilled Ridge bill, it reduces the regulations and helps and facilitates obtaining professional licenses by on-duty personnel. If they're a teacher in another state, they get moved over to Edwards. The wife can't work, that kind of stuff. It's been done, you know, it's just another California law to help out. I know at the federal level, they're doing the same thing, but in California, we're doing it now, right? Because it did pass, it got signed. It's AB 883. Anyway, we went to I went to the local Cal City stand down for vets a couple of Saturdays ago. I don't think I see anybody that was there, but I did get to see about 100, 120 people that showed up, which was a good turnout for vets in the East Kern County area. Hope to do more of that. Anyway, we're trying to stay engaged, trying to stay out of trouble. That's about it. Oh, and I have a good announcement. The Assemblyman's coming next month.
Yeah.
All right.
Carlo, real quick question.
Sure.
47 qualified for the ballot.
Yes, it did.
We're
The
hearing-
anti-47.
Yeah, the anti-47.
Yes.
Make the good changes. But we're hearing that there's certain people up in Sacramento are going to put a poison pill in it and try and circumvent.
Oh, okay. So they can't do anything about the initiative which qualifies.
Right.
They could change the wording on the initiative. Remember when there was a gas tax increase, and if you voted yes, you were saying no increase, but if you voted no, you were actually saying, yeah, I want the increase. It's that's what we kind of expect with that one, of the initiative. There's about 11 bills that got passed that are real hard anti-crime bills, because we've had problems in retail theft, in attacks, car thefts. So these bills, the anti-47 bill is kind of one size fits all. The legislature in the last 4 weeks, they didn't feel about this strongly about it 3 months ago. But in the last 4 weeks, they did bring up these bills, and they're real strong, and they're very specific. This angle of the Prop 47, this angle of the Prop 47. And there's some political machinations and maneuvering of, shall I say, the leadership of the representatives. And they saw these bills, and they go, you know, if we get these bills passed, we don't need that pesky initiative. So what could we do? So that's part of the political drama. I don't think anything's going to happen. Maybe I'm making too much of it. I think the Assemblyman doesn't. He thinks it's. I don't know. He says I don't know what to think of it, but I think of it as more of political drama about these bills. But so these good bills have poison pills in them, and then I heard today they don't have poison pills in them. So
We'll have to wait.
I know.
Thank
Is that an answer?
Thank you, Carl.
I don't know if it's going to help you. I'm trying to be as informative as possible.
All right, Karen. Supervisor Ross.
So Karen Sanders, East Kern Rep for District 2, Kern County Board of Supervisors. There's been a lot of noise, and I mean that in the best way, noise coming out of Rosemont regarding code compliance. There's two things that I want to offer to you. One is an app that you can have on your phone that's called MyKern. You can have it on your iPhone or Android. Just go to the App Store and type in MyKern. You can actually report code violations on that app. Alternatively, if you're not a fan of using an app on your phone, you can call me. And I'll even come over and take pictures if I need to, so that we can help the Rosemont community have better compliance with code violations. I'm happy to do it. Fran is a code reporter. Joel is a what?
A code Karen?
A
No,
code
I'm not a Karen.
No,
I'm a community activist. Now you're on my list.
Didn't mean it that way.
I'm Karen, but I don't want to see your name.
Too late.
I know, it's too late. Hey, hold on.
Joel is a code reporter. Anyone can actually report things to code compliance,
Yeah.
just to make the community have a better appearance, have better atmosphere, not have problems with where you live. So Carlo is famous for giving the office number. I'm gonna give you my cell phone number, and you can call me, you can text me, whatever, 760-608-3318. I will also give you a card if you like, because that also has my email on it, and I'm happy to share that with you. Just ask and I'll give you a card.
Does the code app let you send a picture of the violation?
It does. It does. It geotags the picture.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's very, very technologically advanced, even though I can't say it. It's very advanced. So you can take pictures and it geotags it, and it goes to code compliance, so they can help with things like I don't know.
It tells you specifically where that is.
Right.
You don't know where.
The actual geolocation.
Yeah.
Graffiti, oil dumping, tires, mattresses. I had a complaint, and it was valid, report from a resident here who said that there was a mattress on a certain street, and it was a county maintained street, and sure enough, there was a mattress there. I took a picture of it, I sent it to the right department, and they got it cleaned up. So we can make things happen. We just all have to, join in and make it work. All right?
Is that the hold on for just a second.
He's gonna tell you all the good stuff that's been happening.
You know, Karen and I met with code compliance to go over some issues. And what we did find out, and I'm going to be hopefully going to speak in front of the board to get some policy changes. Kern County's a reactive county. They won't go patrolling and initiate anything on their own. They're all complaint based, so they have to get a complaint.
But you gotta tell them why.
Why? Right.
No, you've got to tell them why, or I'm gonna tell them.
Tell them why.
So, 3 years ago, the code compliance department had 3 code officers. Think of how big
Yeah.
Kern County is. There are 10 code compliance officers now, which is better. 3 years ago, they only had like 1 administrative person, and I think they have 3 or 5 administrative people now.
Yeah.
So they're not trying to be reactive because that's the only thing they want to do. They're being reactive because that's the staff that they have.
But no, I was going to get at, they do a great job. If you call, they'll come and clean up the dumps. In May, there were 63 dump sites cleaned in District 2, 188 dump sites cleaned on the roadways in 2024, 298 miles of clean county. And I don't know how the complication, I haven't had any discussions with the sheriff's department or not, but if somebody's out there dumping in a brand new $70,000 truck, if a couple of people lost their trucks for using the commission of a crime, word would get out and go, oh no, I'm not going to go out in Kern County and use my vehicle to dump. So I don't know what the legal, they said we can do it, the county said we can do it, but I don't know what the legal ramifications of that are. But we got to start hitting people in the pocketbooks that are doing these illegal dumps and make it stop.
Well, in fact, one of those call-ins, if you guys notice on Rosa Boulevard and Sierra Highway, that defunct building is gone. So it pays to call in and report these things, because that eyesore is gone. So keep calling, send in your requests.
So
Just had a quick question for the dumping. Do abandoned vehicles count under dumping?
No, that would be,
Or-
I think we can call it, if it's depending on the roadway, right?
Well,
it does depend on the roadway.
Yeah.
If it's on a county maintained road,
it's not really,
if it's,
it's not a paved road, it's an alleyway.
okay, so is it private property?
I don't know.
Okay, so what I need you to do is, take a picture and send it to me, or tell me where it is and I'll go take a picture, however we have to do it, so we can determine where it is. If it's on private property and it's not registered, it can be reported to code compliance. If it's on a public right of way, then we can report it either to Kern County Sheriff's Department or to CHP. I've personally had experience reporting abandoned vehicles to CHP, and with a matter of days, they're gone. So, I mean, it works. Yes.
We worked with code compliance in the past.
Yes.
Where they'll call us because they're called to a street, an alleyway, or a house, and there's cars that they believe are abandoned, and maybe they aren't able to do anything with them depending on it. So they'll call us and we'll have an officer go look at it.
Sure.
Depending, we can't just take a car.
Right.
But if the law allows us to, we will remove it. But there's a lot of circumstances where, like vehicles out in the desert and such, that's someone's property, where we can't remove vehicles. That would be
Right.
more of a code compliance thing. But on public maintained roads, absolutely call us. Expired registration, maybe it's stolen. There's a number of things that we can look at and evaluate. But code compliance sends stuff over all the time. So.
So it is possible. It's just and it may take a minute, but it can be done. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Karen. And I want to publicly thank Karen. Karen hit the ground running, and she's awesome to work for. Any complaints I have, I bug her pretty much daily on stuff. And
He does.
She doesn't hang up on me yet, so she's awesome to work for and to work with, and she's doing a great job out here for us. So, all right, Chamber.
Chamber. All right, Jack Miller, Vice President, Chamber of Commerce. Had our monthly meeting today, and our actual focus was, there's not a lot going on with the chamber administratively right now, but we did coordinate an event committee for Roseman, and a lot of it's chamber functions, but a lot of it's not. So we're trying to get all the community entities together so that we can focus and plan community events at the best events we can have and not be overstepping each other's events. Instead of stepping on each other, we're actually helping each other on each event so we can make it the best event we can have. And it's been very successful. We got a lot of people. We got in big trouble today not inviting the superintendent unintentionally, but we made sure she's gonna be invited in the future. And there's some other people that we need to invite too, like Marshall. You know, we want to get you involved, and because you have a lot of activities, and I think the chamber can help you out as well. So, it's really successful. It really has a good direction. We're just looking for more volunteers, actually, but we're making headway. One of the other things we discussed in today's meeting, which has been one of my big beasts for years, because I grew up here with rec programs at the Glendale Park there, playing pool, playing table tennis and other activities. And there used to be park staff there. Now I know the building's been scheduled for renovation, but we were also talking about getting some rec programs there for the use. I mean, they're doing the skate park. It'd be a nice time to renovate the building and actually have staff with county staff so that we can actually generate youth programs there. So I want to officially ask, because it's always been in discussion, I want to officially ask the Rmac is to take that on as a project so that we can focus on that project and see if we can get that building as a county program through the renovations and actually start up some youth programs. Because
We'll look into that.
that's one of the things this community really needs the most. I know we're getting more sheriffs, that's great. We had a lot of discussion about Diamond Street area. And honestly, I think with the additional deputies and the substation coming in, that's gonna address a lot of that going on in those areas. And we're already seeing a lot more presence in that area, so things have died down a little. So,
Can
little.
I add to that?
Yeah.
I just want to say for everyone who, first of all, you guys got to remember that we're one community with one school district. So all the families and the students that are here, they all go to the same school district. We're all the same. Just like Jack said, we've been, we're finally at a point where we're supporting each other rather than, oh, well, you're having an event at the same time the school district's having an event or something.
Right.
We're working together. I notice a lot of complaints, I'll be totally honest, on Facebook, or people say, oh, there's not enough for the families to do. We need the support. You guys anybody is welcome to come to that community committee and to help out, even if it's one day that you can come and pitch in when we're doing an event. Just come and host a game for the kiddos or the family, or help pass out things at movie night, anything. Just the extra support. We all work, we all have jobs, we all have other things going on. I have small children still, and so just a little bit of support, even if you can't dedicate a whole bunch of time. We're not asking you to sign a list and say you're signed up for 10 nights a week or something. No, I'm exaggerating.
No, but if you can get 5 or 10 people at one event and another 5 or 10
Exactly.
people at another event when you have time, that makes the difference right there. So you don't have to be part of the committee necessarily as far as the planning, but we do need volunteers to help run these events. Sometimes on Diamond Street we have a lot of events, and as you know, that's not the best street to have kids walking around on. So we try to do the best we can to make it as safe as possible for the kids. And we've done a pretty good job so far, but and a lot of help from the sheriff and CHP as well. They've been really supportive as well. So, but that's what I really want to talk about tonight is the events. Yes, sir.
How are you guys, when you guys do have the events, how are you guys reaching out to the kids or the parents?
Well, we're working on that. I mean, we've just gotten it going. We don't have it perfected. We're trying. Talked to Amanda today about putting events on their event calendar in the Roseman News. But there's social media, social calendars. We're working on it. It's not an easy task, but we're working on it. Yes.
Yeah, so I was looking for these kind of events too earlier. I have a 9-month-old now, so
Right.
I'm looking for some family things to do. One of the things I did is I went to the library to ask, and they weren't actually too sure of any either, other than their own individual. So maybe
Yeah.
library,
And that's kind of something that we have to work on because we were talking today at the meeting, it can actually take one person 8 hours a day, every day of the week, just to promote all the events properly. Cause you gotta hit social media, you gotta hit the posters, you know, gotta get the Roseman News.
TikTok.
I mean, it's a lot of work.
And we gotta fine tune it, so like
Right.
the school district works very closely with the library, but we haven't pulled them in completely to, you know, the community in general, so it's a lot, that's why we're saying if we have a little bit of extra help, just
Yeah.
like is anybody good with websites and calendars, because, you know, even to help on that side of it, even if you're not
That'd be
actually
great.
volunteering,
Right.
if you can just be the person that puts it all together.
Joe, I'm Rick Webb, I'm a director at the Water District.
Oh, hey Rick,
Hey,
it's
how
in
are you?
yours.
I may be stepping outside of my boundaries, but call the general manager of Kim Monday, because we're closed tomorrow. Call him up Monday, tell him I was here, heard what you said, and ask if we can support you guys and help, because we have a website. The reason I'm telling you that, our webmaster said we get about a 52 to 53% open rate on our newsletter.
Right.
I'm not saying it's gonna be every day, all the time, posting your information, but I think going back to what we were talking about, lack of information.
Right.
We all know something is going on, we just don't know where it's going on. So I have his card here, if you wanna take a picture of it with his contact information, or shoot him an email.
Sure.
To let him know that we were at the meeting, you brought this up, because I think maybe they may be able to support, cause that's still a community type thing, so.
Maybe what I'll do is actually invite him to our next meeting.
Yeah, you can do that also, but anyways, Tim Domingo, he's your general manager.
Right.
And just let him know that I thought it was a good idea,
Yeah.
and let's see if we can push that forward for you.
So we don't have all the answers, but we have a good start. And we're looking for more help, specialists in certain areas, yes?
I do have one more question, especially since the school district does do as far as events. If it is something where I'm promoting or pushing you guys out, do you guys actually, like for instance mine or whatever, if I have something where I let you guys know, hey, this is going on, do you guys push that as well, or does it have to be a school district?
Actually, you should be part of that committee.
Okay.
And bringing your events in with it.
That way it's all compiled.
Because now we-
Anything that goes to the school district, just to answer your question before we go off on a tangent, anything that goes out to the school district, because we are a district and we do have a lot of, there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
It needs to be approved through the superintendent's office.
Okay.
And it will have a disclaimer on it if it is approved to go out. And it just depends, because we have to be very careful what we're sending out, because when we send out information, it goes to 3,700 students' families. So we just have to be very careful on that.
Okay.
But the point I was trying to make with you is, if you have your own events, you don't have all of us to help support your events and volunteer for your events.
Right.
So as people like you is who we need in the committee,
Okay.
because it's not just about the chamber. The chamber might be trying to house this and facilitate this for the community as well as ourselves, but we need all the community entities to be part of this so that we can make sure the whole community has successful and meaningful events.
I'm on board.
Okay? So that's really what we're trying to accomplish.
And how do we find out about the volunteer opportunities, like you guys need help?
You know, I need to, like I
Okay,
said,
you
we
can contact any of us at this point right
Yeah.
now, but again, that's something we need to fine tune, like maybe you set up an email address that, you know,
maybe we
have
need to
access
publicly
to.
announce that better.
Yeah.
Because we're 3 months in on this project, so we're learning. But you're exactly right, we do need to reach out so that other people can join.
Like I said, if we have just one person behind the scenes that was responsible for the communication going in and out.
Well,
That would
keep
be
that
good.
going though. There are several really good, Facebook pages that announce lots of things, Ion Roseman,
Yeah.
there's quite a few, so check them all out. I mean, some are better than others, but you know, you'll see those events on there a lot of times.
And really, that's where you're gonna get most of your people, honestly, is Facebook and those groups.
There's no dedicated Rosemont website or anything like that?
You know, we might talk about that, I mean, I have the ability to create something like that, so maybe we'll discuss that down the road with the committee. And maybe we can do a separate dedicated medium just for the community events and stuff. So we can talk about
I
that.
appreciate it. Roseman Community Center, anything new, Mr. Wallace? Mr. Webb, anything new with you guys, RCSD?
He's gonna let me report, I'm just. What's the big thing going at the district? one of the big, if you folks don't know, one of the big things here in the community is our truck lines with debris getting caught up in them or whatnot or whatever. So we've been cameraing our lines out now. So the good news is that we don't have any bad news about the lines there, which is important. A few weeks ago, we had a tour at the wastewater treatment plant out there on the highway out there. She was there with us. It's something that we're all paying for. I mean, the whole community, we're all paying for it. If you folks would like to go out there and kind of see the dynamics of, I'd encourage you to contact the general manager. It'd probably be difficult to do one-on-one type things, but I think 4 or 5 people at a pop to go out there and see what's going on. The reason I'm saying that, we always hear about what our money is being spent on, but Lahadin, who's the water region master over all of us for this area here, them, the state of California, recognize that plant out there for the innovation involved in it. And years ago, we'd always say Little Old Roseman. Little Old Roseman's become the bigger player in the overall game. So contact him, Director Wallace and myself, and we'll try to facilitate that. The other part about it is that a couple years back, we had a big issue about water. We probably have the best water supply in the entire region. What I mean by that, we went out, we bought water, and our water supply now probably puts us in a very good way. The reason that becomes important, it's a good time now. Good times don't stay. And when it comes back around again, the water we're pumping out of the ground, the water we are allocated now, we're in a good way. That doesn't mean we waste the water. That means we have good water. And the other part there too, I want to compliment you folks here because at our meetings, if we have 2 people, that's a holiday for us. So I'm going to invite everyone to our meetings. They're more, I don't want to use the word technical, but they're more water, sewer type stuff issue. And this is where I started many years ago. I was on the map when I started before I got elected there. But they used to always say this is where things get done, and everything I've heard here is about this community wellness, and I salute you folks on it. I invite any of you folks to come to one of our meetings and hear some other things. And the other big thing, we just had our budget meeting. We passed the balanced budget, and all this work's been done. That's not us, that's been the county. The county's responsible for all this madness out here, but we're gonna be putting in a new big trunk line that's been having water leaks, so that could create some disruptions, but overall, the water district, the water supply, the sewer plant, we're in a good way, folks. Thank you guys very much.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
What's happening with your community garden?
Oh, that's kind of on hold. Okay, so real quick, so Alpha brought it up. I have this vision of a community garden. And here's why. Gardens bring people together. Food is the only thing we really don't argue about. So I've been pushing for many, many years about community gardens. And the reason I think if everyone sits down and grows something, sits at the same table and shares it, then it's like a garden of the world. So yes, thank you all for bringing that up. So I'm gonna continue to push it, but at some point, I don't know what point, this community here will have it. I think we talked, did you talk to Jim about that land that's there? I don't wanna get above my head here because I don't know what part of the conversation is, but there is land that the district has that can't be used for other things, but could be used for a garden, but it goes back. We have to have people willing to help because the ideal is great, but it's just an idea without action. It was a thought, okay? So I'm gonna keep pushing it, and one day it'll come together, probably not tomorrow, but we're gonna get there. But community gardens, folks, I think that you talk about a community, conduit, pulling people out, pulling people together, community garden would be ideal. Alfred, thank you for that because that just re-energized that bubble for me. Yes, ma'am.
So I have 2 things. When we get this garden going, I think we have a big picnic and have everybody come roast vegetables together. and all
Absolutely.
that. Well, my other question was, I ran into Sherry the other day.
Yes.
And I want to pass along to her, I would like us to do a e-waste day.
Yes.
Remember e-waste we had a long time ago? Oh, that just recovered so much junk, so I hope you guys will sponsor that.
So the 2 things, I just retired, November, so I'll start trying to attend the meetings a lot more. Before I was retired, it was almost impossible, but some of the thoughts I'm hearing and some of the things that the people are here, that gets that snowball rolling. So I will commit to being a little bit more in the meetings so we can get these information exchanged and whatnot. And again, come to the district meeting and just kind of see the dynamics of what's going on. Yes, sir.
It's the,
And for those of you who don't know, Rick was a policeman for how many years, Rick?
41 years.
41 years.
41 years. Yes, sir.
I have a question. I was recently up northern California, and with all the discussion in Southern California about water restrictions and, water conservation. So when I was up north, about Sacramento River North, which was dry last year when I went up there, this year there was about 40, 50 miles of biofuel farms completely flooded with water. Is that affecting our water
So let me
availability?
stand up so I can tell you about our water. So, real quick, this is adjudicated basin, which means we went to court, the courts argued, they said everyone gets a little bit. All the water districts around here, the farmers, everyone gets a little bit. The good part about it, with the adjudication, the water levels in the valley are starting to come back up. We were starting to get depression, so the water's coming back up. But a lot of the water that we have and we secured, it's been purchased from, we have carryover water which people don't use, we can buy it. The important thing that you folks have to know here, anytime a new developer comes into town to build something, he doesn't get your water. He has to give the district money, the district goes out and finds water, and they have to pay, I think it's 100 years, they have to pay for it. So whatever we have here, that's kind of ours. The new 50 houses, 100 houses come in, they have to get theirs. So a lot of the water dynamics you're talking about, it's still gonna be in place just because LA City and DWP and Metropolitan Water, the two big guys on the board, they can buy water all over the state. We bought our water sources are secure. Roseman is in a very good way. I don't know the exact numbers. I'll make a point. Your next meeting, if you like, I'll ask the GM to come here and give you guys a water report and a wellness, but I will tell you this here, we're in a good way.
You said it's over 40 years.
Yeah, we are in a good way with our water supply. We don't have a lot of the dynamics, just you have to think about this too. The basin here is getting better, and then we bought water that's what's inside the basin. So long we can, as we say, we can put a straw anywhere out here, a well, and pull our water out. So
and they're also investing in our future because they're reinserting the water back into the ground
not
to make it
percolate,
well water.
and the
So
percolate out.
eventually, for our future, the water is already going back into the ground for our future.
That's at the treatment plant.
They got growth was wrong, what, 40%?
Yeah, so we're in a good way. The most important thing I tell people about our CSD, we're not glamorous, we're just consistent. And we're
They're
meeting the
doing a
needs of the
really
community.
good job out there.
Yeah, we're meeting the needs.
I heard you guys are all glamorous.
That was last month. But anyway,
Well, that's Roseman.
I will talk with the chair and see about getting the GM to come out and give you folks a presentation, because that was kind of a quick all over the page there. I'll give you guys a snapshot of what's going on.
Moving along here, we gotta move along here. Barbara from the school district, last but not least, the best for last.
Good evening, Barbara Gaines, Superintendent of Southern Kern Unified School District. This evening I can tell you we have a lot going on in our school district. Obviously school is over for the year, but we are in week 2 of our first session of summer school. We have several students enrolled in summer school this year, which is exciting. If you've been out towards Tropico Middle School and you can't really see it from the road, I know our CSD is doing a lot with that project out there. We just finished 28 new classrooms at Tropico Middle School, a brand new beautiful track. It has built-in athletic equipment on I want to say the west side of the track and the southern section of the track, which is permanent. It has benches around the track. My goal is to open this track to the community for people who want to get their steps in the evening or just walk with their spouse or loved one, whatever. That's our goal. Our grand opening, and Joel and the board, I apologize, I took the chamber their invitations today, and I told Joe I'm gonna bring yours tonight. About yours will come in the mail. The ribbon cutting for Tropico Middle School is July the 26th at 9 a.m. Anybody who would like to join us in that ribbon cutting, please come out. The new side of the campus will be done sooner than the old side because we're repainting the old side. We took out a lot of trees this week that their roots were really destroying and causing a lot of structural damage. So we're putting in new landscaping, we're putting in new paint to match the new side. So there's a lot going on at Tropico Middle School in hopes of having it all done, or as close as we can, to August 14th for the opening of the 24-25 school year. We also have a new principal at Tropico Middle School. The high school cafeteria is underway, and I'm waiting for stucco on that building. Maybe next week or the following week, we're gonna see stucco. If you're heading east on Roseman Boulevard and you happen to look over toward the football field, you'll see a building there, a new building. That is that new high school cafeteria. And I can promise you it's going to be absolutely gorgeous when it's done. It was modeled after a cafeteria in San Diego at a school called D39. We went there with our architects. We liked the cafeteria, and that was the same design that we're gonna have at Roseman High cafeteria. We're also, we have some additional funds that we're going to, I don't know if any of you ever played sports at Roseman High, but the locker rooms are disasters. You can remember?
All my kids play there.
Yes, the locker rooms are in really, really bad shape. And so we've set aside $4 million. We're going to be either converting the current locker rooms for the boys and the girls into a new weight room, and then putting in a new locker room for both girls and boys with showers and coach's office, and maybe even a little office for the football umpires when they at halftime, etc. So this too will go to DSA. So it's not going to happen overnight, but the architects are already looking at which would be the better way to go, either converting the old locker room into a new weight room, because currently my football teams do not have a weight room, or the kids in PE do not have a weight room anymore. So that's something that's going to be going on real soon. West Park Elementary is currently at the end of the year had about 1,013 kids in it. It's jam-packed for TK through 5th grade. So to prevent overcrowding, we will be on the election. We're putting on a bond. So if you have any questions about what we're doing with the funds for the bond, we would like to, we bought 20 acres on Roseman Boulevard. It's west of the high school, it's in between the high school and Tropico, and it fronts Roseman Boulevard on the north side. Our goal is there to build the 3rd elementary school in Roseman to reduce some of this pressure that we have at Roseman Elementary and West Park Elementary. And we also need a lot of upgrading at the high school especially. We need, HVAC units and just all kinds of, as I mentioned, some of the facilities, classrooms, etc., are in really bad shape. Some laboratories as well. So we're building 10 new classrooms at West Park. A lot of construction going on, and we're about to put that plan into DSA. Everything we're doing has to go to the Department of State Architect for approval, because if it's not done through the DSA, then we could really lose our funding and be in a world of hurt or have to remove it. For example, there's a shade structure at West Park currently that was put in several years ago, and it was not put in with DSA's approval. So before I can start the new 10 classrooms at West Park, that shade structure has to come out. It's kind of sad. You know, the kids use that every day. They eat under that shade structure, but that's unfortunate. So I ask you to consider in November when the approving and giving us the bond, because we estimate a new elementary school with a library and everything in it will probably cost us around $35 million. So construction now is really, really expensive. We have to pay prevailing wage. Fran, did you have a question for me?
Yeah, where is this new elementary school? I heard you say something about it, right down.
The new elementary?
Yeah.
It's, I don't know the exact street, Fran. It's in between the high school heading west toward Tropico.
And it goes to 50th?
Is it on 50th?
There's a little house or little structure.
Store there?
Oh, that little structure before you get to,
Is that trailer park?
No, it's on the north side.
It's
not
on the north
No, I'm
side.
talking about where it's at. It's across from that trailer park, is it?
I think it's across from that market.
I think it's down toward the market. I think
Yeah.
you're right. It's down
Now,
toward the market.
Coach's location there?
Past it.
Past it. And it's right there. Very
There's
nice
not that
piece
much
of land.
land.
that
out there,
market
yeah.
that's got all the trailers by it?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. It's 550.
That's-
Yeah, all I know is it has a little structure on it. We're gonna be converting those for enrichment after-school classrooms. What are we bringing in? We're bringing in Paxton Patterson Lab, which is a STEM lab.
Oh, perfect.
For after-school kids. We're bringing in robotics to both elementary schools.
Okay. That's
Both,
great.
both elementary schools already have a phenomenal music program after school.
Okay.
So there's drama, there's arts. Roseman Elementary has phenomenal art,
Okay.
the visual arts. So there's a lot going on. At Roseman High School, we have 12. We're the only one. I can tell you, no one in the Antelope Valley has what we have. We have 12 CTE pathways at Roseman High. People come from all over and they're like, whoa, they have no idea we had this many CTE pathways.
Right.
And at Tropico, we have music, we have STEM, we have Paxton Patterson Lab there, we have art, we have photography, we have, foreign language, there's just, I can't even do it justice. Hope Squad, ASB, there's a lot at all of our schools.
Yeah, I'll look into it because, like I said, I got these kids, and I asked, and it seems like the communication there is kind of like a little off to me. So that's why I was just trying to figure out, since I'm here and you were talking, I'm just trying to figure out what do they have so I can keep them busy, or it's no more room. It's always either that, or it's no more room, or they don't have enough people or enough volunteers. So I'm just trying to figure out how is that, what that looks like per se.
Yeah, and we also have at Tropico. Tropico belongs to a league that competes with middle schools in the Antelope Valley, and the high school. I mean, every sport imaginable. They play boys and girls. That's a Title IX issue.
I went to Roseman, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and just to share with you, we just put in a new gym floor at Roseman High School. I'm sorry, Joe's doing a lot. Sorry. It's beautiful. So, and we are. If you're a fan of Roseman High basketball, you'll know that the home side is typically on the east side of the gym. We're gonna make the home side now. We're getting new bleachers for the west side, and they're longer, so that where the scorekeeper is, because the scorekeeper usually gets harassed by the visitors, because our scorekeeper is there on the. So we're gonna convert the west side
It's a
now
small
as the
thing.
home small things.
Yeah, it's a small thing.
To the west side.
Got it.
So that's something that, new sound systems, there's a lot going on in our schools right now. So we're very, very excited and trying to be ready for that influx of kids that we get every year.
If you don't mind me adding too, we have a parent and community center, so if you ever have any questions, pop on.
Where's that exactly?
That is right next to the alternative education. If you're going towards the high school, there's a digital sign. It's not one of the marquees that stands like tall, it's attached to the building.
So it's like in those bungalows over
Yes.
there. Okay, gotcha.
but it faces Rosemond. It's right there, faces
Okay.
Rosemond Boulevard.
Thank you, Barbara. A lot of
You're
stuff going
welcome.
on.
That was
All right, so
You're welcome.
now, I want to welcome Justin Powers from Power Market. I've met him through our East Kern Economic Alliance. He did a presentation there and has some good things to say here.
Thank you very much, Joel, for inviting me. It's been a pleasure to come in. I really love hearing a lot of the things that are happening in Rosemond, especially when it comes to all the collaboration around community events. I love the idea of a community garden. I really love a lot of these things that are happening. I'm Justin Powers. Just a little bit about me first. I'm a resident of the Kern River Valley, so about an hour and a half north, still in Kern County. It's massive. I wouldn't be bringing this program in if it wasn't something that I really believed helps the residents and is a good community asset. So I just want to lead with that. I really do care for the communities, and I started working with this company, Power Market, because I think they're doing something really good. The company's based out of New York, but I am here local. So I do have some flyers. I didn't print enough. I think I've got about 4 or 5 left here. If anybody would like to get some, and we can always send you digital copies if anybody wants to. I'll put them here if anybody wants to grab some. But I'm here to tell you a little bit about Power Market and the community solar project that's being built out in Inyo Kern right now. So has anybody heard of community solar before? It's different than rooftop solar or the big solar farms you're used to seeing. This is something that was, we've been seeing a lot of community solar projects in the East Coast for years now. It wasn't until last year California signed a bill paving the way for community solar projects in California, and this is one of the first. So they're building a community solar farm in Inyo Kern. If you're familiar with Inyo Kern, it's between like the Inyo Kern airport and 395. There's 2 different lots that they're building on. And the difference between a community solar farm and all the other solar farms that you're seeing as you're driving up and down is those other solar farms are built to benefit cities or power districts. A community solar farm, the benefit goes to the residents. And so because of the way that the bill is structured and because of the way that the agreement with Southern California Edison is structured. Now, are all of you on Southern California Edison here? Okay. I want to make sure that, because it's a very important part of it. The way that the agreement was structured with Southern California Edison, residents have to sign up for the community solar farm, so it's not automatic. And what this gets you is if you register for the community solar farm, the way it works is Power Market will look at the last 12 months of your usage, and they'll allocate you a portion of that solar farm. And so every month, a portion of your bill, rather than paying it to Edison, you're paying it to Power Market with a 10% discount. So it's an automatic 10% savings on what you would be paying for Edison. There's no fees, there's no long-term commitments, and we don't install anything on your house. And because we're not installing anything on your house, that makes it great for renters and people that wouldn't normally be able to take advantage of solar. So it's really great for those populations and those families. The way that would look is, for example, if based on my allocation, I'm getting $100 worth of credits, I'll see a $100 credit or $100 decrease on my Edison bill, and then I would get a bill from Power Market for $90. So that's where you'd see that 10% savings. It's a little bit like sometimes I go to Costco and get like a $50 gift card for a restaurant for $40 or $45. Very similar kind of concept. Yes.
Question. Are there gonna be any administrative fees tacked on by either SCE or,
No fees. So no sign-up fees, no long-term commitments, and no ongoing fees at all.
because I remember when I had solar in my old house, yes, all the electricity was free, but then there were fees of bringing the solar to my outlet, putting it into the house fee, and all sorts of other fees. So in the end, there was always like a $20-ish that were not electricity related to that, and with a 10% discount, that makes a huge difference of, is it worth it or not?
Right, so you'll still be paying your bill to Edison, you'll still get your power from Edison just like you normally would. We're not physically like moving the electrons from Inyokern to your home.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna see any other, like there's not delivery charges, which is one of the things I think you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see any other fees. And it won't be, we're not going to try to cover 100% of your Edison bill. Part of the reason for that is we don't want you to get stuck with credits that you're not actually using. So let's say during the winter, you're still getting that, and I'm gonna keep the same example because the numbers are easy. You're still getting that $100 credit. During the winter, maybe your bill's only $80. You're gonna start getting a benefit on your, you're gonna start seeing a credit balance start to build on your Edison bill until the summer comes around, and then you start using those credits you've accumulated. We're not gonna try to cover 100% of your usage, because at the end of the year, we don't want that community solar farm that's for the community. If you're not using those credits, we wanna make sure that they go to other residents where that's gonna provide benefit. The only qualifications are that you have to be a Southern California Edison customer, and you cannot already have solar. If you already have solar, you're kind of covered. Edison won't let you join the program. And honestly, if you already have solar, you're probably saving better than 10%. But if you can't get solar, don't want solar, or if you're a renter or something like that, it's a really great option. Let me see if there's anything else.
Justin, hey, real quick on when you get your Edison bill, can you clarify? So you're still going to make your one payment to Edison, then Edison gives power their money, right? So you don't have to make a payment to Edison and a payment to.
It will, and that's one of the few downsides is that there will be a second bill.
Okay.
So your Edison bill will go down, and you'll pay for whatever that credit is. You'll pay 90% of that value to Power Market. The Power Market portion does have to be on auto pay, which I prefer. I put everything on auto pay, but if you're somebody that doesn't like auto pay, then that could be a deal breaker. Yes.
Two more questions.
Yeah.
Does one have to be on the time of use?
You don't have to be on the time of use rate plan. It covers basically all of the residential rate plans as long as you're not on net energy metering, which is code word for solar. We also just got approval to add small commercial, which specifically is the GS1 rate code. For our smaller businesses, mom and pop restaurants, we can use those. A lot of times the school districts can join this program and save money. And also municipal city buildings like this oftentimes can sign up and take advantage of that as well.
And then the last question I had was for the canceling anytime if one moves or something, is there, you have to give like a 1 month's notice, or what is the notice?
They do ask for 60 days notice, and that's because of the way that the reporting works between Power Market and Southern California Edison. It takes about 60 days to get you out of the system.
Thank you.
And if you sign up today, you'll start seeing the benefits once those power plants come online. They're looking at, hopefully in August, those coming online, so you'll start seeing the benefits 1 to 2 billing cycles after that. There is a limited amount of space. Once they've allocated the entire community solar farm, they're not going to take any more entries. So I want to make sure that we're keeping the benefit here in Kern County as much as we can, because Southern California Edison's territory is huge. And I'm getting kind of tired of seeing all these projects in Kern County bills to benefit LA. So we did recently get the cities of Long Beach, and I'd have to double check, I think it's Corona, have signed up all of their municipal meters onto the program. So that's taken a chunk of the allocation. So that's why I'm coming out and making sure that we get as many of our locals here onto the program so that we're seeing the benefit in Kern County.
Sorry, one last question.
I love it.
Since it's free for us, so to speak, how does the project make money? Because the project needs to make money.
I get this question a lot because it feels too good to be true. And there's a certain element of like, don't look the gift horse in the mouth. There is some stimulus money, there's some grant funding that goes into it. Also, if you think about if you put rooftop solar panels on your home, you're saving more than 10%. So I guarantee you they're able to generate that electricity for a lot cheaper than 10% cheaper than the residential rates. So they're making their money. Power market is in the builder, but this is just a way for the community to save that 10%.
It's also good to know, since maintaining these farms is not cheap, and somebody's gonna have to foot that bill if the farm can't do that down the road. Then who's gonna win the hook otherwise?
Yeah.
So that's good to know. Thank you.
And if you go to Power Market's website, it's on the flyer, the powermarket.io. You can see all the farms that they manage, and that was one of the first things I did. The two things I did was to go and see how much history do they have of managing these community solar projects, and there's dozens on the East Coast that they manage. The other thing I did is I Googled Power Market and Southern California Edison, because I wanted to make sure that was all legit. And you can see their entire contract that they put out, and you can see this is done through Edison's Community Renewables Program. And so you can see all the information about Power Market on Edison's website, so you can verify that.
Is there an income cap?
There is no income requirements. I will say, I do hesitate to try to market this to the very lowest income, and the reason for that is because oftentimes if you are barely trying to make ends meet, sometimes you have to be really strategic about when to pay bills, and having a bill on auto pay could, if that results in a non-sufficient funds fee, then all of a sudden you've evaporated that 10% that you're saving. So I hesitate to try to recommend this to the lowest income, just because of that reason. But it doesn't matter what your income is. The only two requirements are you an SCE customer, and do you already have solar?
Thank you.
All right, Jed, thank you very much.
Like your corporate attire, by the way.
You know, I have to represent the Kern River Valley. So I own and operate the first co-working space in East Kern County. Our motto is work where you play. And I can walk out the door and go across the street and go whitewater kayaking on my lunch break. And so I kind of, I make sure I represent that when I go out.
Yeah, Barbara had a question.
I'm trying to picture this. So, if I understood you correctly, when Southern California Edison sends the bill to the client, is the client going to see the entire amount of the bill, or just, let's say, the 3/4, the 75% of the bill? I think you said we don't see 75%, because I don't see it as a 10% saving. I see it as a 2.5% savings, because you're only saving $10, aren't you, out of the 100? Let's say your bill was $400.
Right, so we would typically, that's a good point. So, and that's why I'm trying not to say you're gonna save 10% on your Edison bill, because we're not trying to cover your entire bill. So if we look at the last 12 months of your usage, so if you normally have a $400 bill, maybe we would allocate enough credits to cover maybe $370. Like, we try to give a little bit of buffer so we don't allocate too much. And on whatever we allocate, those credits we allocate, you'll see a 10% savings on that credit. I've been using $100 as an example because I don't like to do math, but we actually look at your usage, and we allocate you a portion based on that usage. And if you know that you're going to be adding, upgrading your air conditioning, or getting an electric car, or you're going to be out of town for 6 months, if your electricity is going to change, you can call Power Market and adjust your percentage. They can do that, and so you're not over or underpaying for those credits.
Are the credits guaranteed every month?
Yes. Yeah. So that percentage of the allocation is. And so, in addition to inviting everybody here to sign up for the program, we would also love to partner with any of you in your organizations, whether that's water districts or school districts. We would love to if anybody would like to assist with helping getting the word out, like I said, there's a lot of push to try to get this program filled up in East Current. We can build landing pages, so maybe the school district could have a page inviting people to join the community solar project. I was talking with our CEO this last week, and for East Kern County, for these organizations that are helping get the word out and doing email blasts, for anybody that signs up through one of those special links, Power Market's willing to donate $25 to the nonprofit they're choosing. So they're really trying to make sure that they're getting the signups here. So that's something that we want to offer as well. My contact information is on the bottom of the flyers. That's my cell phone number, and that's my email address. And there's a URL on there where you can sign up. It takes about 5 minutes. You need your Edison account number, and you need the payment information to set up the auto pay.
And it's on our Rmac. I digitally upload it to Rmac and send it out to all the other social media here in town. So that flyer's out there, digital. Awesome. Thank you, Justin, very much. Thank you. All right. Only new business we have is if we get a chance to look at the minutes.
Ironically, there's a misspelling on Mr. Blakely's name again.
Which one?
Number 3. There's a
Which okay. All right. Anything else? We'll correct that. Do I have a motion to accept with that correction?
All motion.
Do you have a second? All right. All in favor? All right. Emily, do you have anything?
No, I was just gonna make a comment about the tour I took at the water district. They're doing a phenomenal job out there, and if anybody else can get an opportunity to go out there, it's well worth it. Well worth it.
And I was talking to Shanae prior to that. She's gonna jump on the public works. We have some projects going on in the parks. Just gonna see if you can monitor for us.
Yes.
State work and the renovation.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking with Karen
Yeah.
and Mr. Carlo before he leaves too.
Perfect. Fallon, do you have anything?
No, just, I think I said everything earlier, if you're willing to support the community, group that we've got going on. Pastor Dave has been wonderful in kind of leading it, but we can need extra help, so. That's it for me.
You know, I can honestly say, we started this group, what started it was the holiday Christmas parade last year. It was such a success. Everybody came together. Used to be, we had these little factions in Roseman, and everybody was doing their own thing, and everybody was butting heads, and there was no cooperation. That Christmas parade brought everybody together, and it's been great ever since. We're all working together and working towards the, I call, when I grew up here, Roseman was a community. Everybody knew everybody. If I did something, by the time I got home, my mom had like 10 phone calls that, hey, Joel did this and that, and the belt was out, or the wood, whatever she could find to grab was out waiting for me. So I want to get that, I want to bring the community back into our town, and we're on a good start. So, Shane.
I have nothing.
Thank
you. Thank you.
All right. Do I have a
motion
to adjourn?
I will.
Do I have a second? All right. Now I got some sad news this week. You see my phone out. Chrissy, our county council, has always been here at our meetings for the last 2 years. She's going to be leaving us. Her last day is July 3rd. And I want to thank you, Chrissy, for putting up with us and taking the time each month to be at our meetings, and you're going to be sorely missed.
Well, thank you so much. There was nothing to put up with. I mean, I really enjoyed working with each and every one of you, and taking those calls and answering those questions. And I mean, I'm gonna miss you all, and I wish you all the best of luck. I do not know who is going to replace me, but as soon as I find out, I will let you know.
All right. Good luck with your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. It was a great meeting tonight.